Hey everybody, Gradius here, and this is the video for factoring special polynomials or polynomial, just special cases with polynomials. And specifically what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using the difference of two squares pattern. So what we're doing today is we're going to be factoring polynomials that look like this one right here, y squared minus 16. So if we notice, it's a little bit different because normally when we factor polynomials, we have a trinomial. We have three of them. We have three pieces. We have, it would have been like y squared plus some number a times y, and then plus my constant. Okay, so we're missing this middle piece here. There's no middle term with just the y. So this is a unique case, but we can still factor it. And one way we can factor it is if you look at it, this is kind of like having y squared plus 0y minus 16. So we're going to do the same process that we've done before, and we're going to look at what are factors of 16, or factors of negative 16, that add up, their sum is equal to 0. Okay, because this is just having a 0y in the middle. So when I think of negative 16, I think of 16 and 1, I think of 8 and 2, and I have 4 and 4. And I also am going to have one be positive and one be negative because this is a negative number. So it could be like negative 16 times positive 1, or I could have positive 16 times negative 1, negative 8 times positive 2, or positive 8 times negative 2, and then negative 8 times 4, and I can't really switch that around. And I'm looking for which one of these, if I add them, if I combine them, if I add these together, their sum would equal 0. Right away, I hope we can see that it should be negative 4 and 4 because these would cancel each other out. Negative 4 plus 4 is 0. So my answers would be y minus 4 and y plus 4 because negative 4 and 4 are my two factors. Here's the factorization of y squared minus 16. So the process is still the same, but there is a pattern that makes this a little bit easier to solve than having to go through all that. So here's the difference of two square patterns. So if I have a squared minus b squared is equal to a plus b, a minus b. Here's what I mean by a squared minus b squared. Here I have y squared, so there's my a squared, minus b squared, 16. I can take the square root of this and factor out something here. So what I have is 16 is equivalent to 4 squared. So I have a squared minus b squared right here. And so now what I'm doing is I'm taking my a, and I'm doing plus and minus whatever that b was. Okay, so a squared minus b squared equals a plus b, a minus b. And again, this can be backwards. It doesn't matter where your sign is. So here I go. I have an x squared minus 49. Well, 49 can be written as 7 squared. So square root of 49 is 7. So this is another way to write 49. Well, here's my a squared. Here's my b squared. So really, this is just a plus 7. I'm sorry, not a. Silly mistake. X plus 7. X minus 7. And I'm done. And if you can check it, 7 times negative 7 is negative 49. 7 times x is 7x. Negative 7 times x is negative 7x. They cancel out. It's all of x squared minus 49. I'm all done just by using that pattern. Let's look at another one. 25m squared minus 36. Okay, so this one's a little bit more complicated, but 25m squared, what I could really write that as is 5m squared. Okay, because I'm squaring my 5 and both my 5 and the m, because 5 squared is equal to 25, m squared is m squared, so this would equal 25m squared. Okay, so if you have a leading coefficient here, just find the square root of that, and then you'll square that as well, minus 6 squared. So that's going to give me factors of 5m plus 6 and 5m minus 6. Okay. And again, if for some reason you do not like this pattern, you can always go back to the other method of using the chart and solving this way. This way works every single time. The way that we learned in part 1 and part 2 from factoring polynomial videos Those work. Okay, you can still do those. This is just a shortcut that we can use. And let's look at one more example, and then this video is over, nice and short. X squared minus 49 squared. So I already have my x squared, so here's that. So I know I'm going to have an x and an x. Okay, but now if we look, I have a different variable over here. I have negative minus 49y squared. Well, let's see. The square root of 49 is 7. And then I also have y. And all of that is squared. If I distribute this square to the 7, this is 49. Distribute this square to the y, it's y squared. So negative 49y squared is the same thing as 7y squared. Okay, so plus 7y minus 7y. That's it. That's all we have to do for this. So again, this is just a shortcut. You do not always have to use this. It's just an extra tool to help us factor out trinomials there so that we can solve trinomial and polynomial equations. Okay. If you do not like using this difference of square pattern, you can always go back to the good old t-chart that we learned before and find your factors and their sums, and the sum would just have to equal 0. Okay, and that's all I got for you guys. I hope this video helped, and I hope if you have any questions, let me know. Have a great day.